Top of the morning. Top of the morning, legends. Welcome to Sunday Morning Live, meds and Q&A with myself and my now soy decaf latte. I was going to say soy decaf coconut latte, not. Switching it up from from fucking coconut to soy. Anyway, who gives a shit, right? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Melanie. Good morning to Nudge. Good morning to Chelsea and Keva. To Yogi Monkey Alex. And good morning to everyone on Facebook. Just can't see your names. I hope you're doing ace wherever you are in the world. And if you're not doing ace, then that's okay. Because you're here, you've showed up. Soy is joy. Soy is joy. I used to drink soy. And then when I was over in Bali for my brother's wedding a few years ago, they didn't have soy. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do about the soy? And they had coconut milk. And so I had coconut milk. And holy shit, changed my life. Probably added a few cellulite dimples to my ass. Anyway, good morning to Bambi Media, to TikTok MB, to Mia, little Mia. Bambi Media, I'm going to give them a shout out. They are the legends who have been whiz-banging my Instagram podcast, swipe up and templates, and they're doing my online unfucking limited, what's it called? Editing. So my online training can come out into the world and you can do it everywhere. So yeah, massive shout out to you, Bambi Media. You guys are awesome. Okay, what do I want to talk about today? What would I like to share with you today? What I would like to share with you today is that Steve Buckler sent me a text message yesterday morning because Friday morning, I was being a bit of a dick. He sent me a message in the morning saying, hey, I can't remember word for word because it's on my phone, but it went along the lines of just observing the obvious, which is the work that, for those of you who have done my work, we teach. When you observe the obvious, you observe the obvious. Just observing the obvious, your responses in relation to the stimulus are disproportionate. So I'll say it again, your response in relation to the stimulus is disproportionate. What's coming up for you? What's going on for you? I'll tell you why, because so it's such a stupid thing, right? Thursday night, Mia had this baking thing that she said, hey, do we have these ingredients because tomorrow I need to bake. I'm like, dude, it's 8 o'clock, can't get out. You need to tell me earlier. And she's like, yep, it's okay. I won't bake. There's another project that I can do. I'm like, cool. That's also the consequences. If you don't let me know, then you miss out, right? And then I was down at the shops Friday morning and she said the same thing to Steve. And she said, I'll just do this activity or I'll make this other thing. And then Steve messaged me and said, can you please get me these baked cookies, these baked things? Mia's laughing, haha. It was so stupid. But I got so charged and triggered. And I came home and I was like, you would not want to be around me. Steve and Mia were like, thanks for getting the cookies. And I held this deafening energy for probably about half an hour. I was making my breakfast, I was making Steve breakfast, I was putting groceries away, and I was not giving eye contact to anyone. And I was in my shit, totally in my shit. And then Steve, he's like, come on, dude, like reconnect. And I just said, okay, Mia, for those of you who have heard me talk about the dark voice, I said, my dark voice was saying this. I felt like you went behind my back, yada, 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 yada. I have to do all this extra stuff and get you a fucking box of cookies that you got to bake even though I was already out. Anyway, so we cleared that all up, and then that's when I went upstairs, and Steve sent me that text message. And what I responded with was, I am finding it really difficult to adjusting to not a lot of me time and space, which is a legitimate thing. But then when I got to the heart of it, like the real heart of it, because in that moment I wrote back to him like, I'm adjusting to space, you know. Prior to you, I was single, and then I got together with you, became a stepmom, you know, week on, week off, and then that has switched to pretty much, you know, having Mia here full time. I said that's an adjustment for me, which is true, but it's also, I know, my story as well, a story that I have in my head about space. It's legitimate, but there's also a story in there. And when I sat back, I actually, after he sent me that message, he said, you know, go away for 2 days. I'm like, where am I going to go? Can't go anywhere outside of 5Ks. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to go for a walk. And I went for a walk with my friend, and then I was walking back by myself, and I was really digging in deep. I'm like, what is this really about? Because he's right. My response was disproportionate. And I also did something the night before, on the Thursday night, where my response, and it was all to do with space, my space being encroached or invaded. And I walked home. When I was walking home, I thought, there's more to this. There's more to this. What's this really about? You know, because I could go on this quest to keep looking for space, I need space, and stay in the story. And when I was walking home, I sat on this bench that I typically sit on down by the beach. So I call it my bench of truth. And I sat there and I closed my eyes. And I wanted to get my guidance. I wanted to get insight into what was really going on. And what was really going on, the answer that I got was just fucking lighten up, woman. Lighten up. Have some fun. You know, like, if you keep focusing on this, then you're going to be wanting, you will be seeking space, which, yes, is a thing, right? We're all locked up, and we're in, if you're in families, like in each other's face. I get that. But I also know my story. I also know the story that I can run inside of my head. And when I got that to lighten up, it made me see that I could be focusing for a really long time on wanting to create space, not knowing how long we're going to be in lockdown for, and continue responding disproportionately to whatever the stimulus was. Because I can keep myself in check, right? But there are some times when I don't keep myself in check, or in that moment I explode or implode. And then the answer was to lighten up. Lighten up, Kat. And when I got that message, it made me reflect. And I thought, how have I been the last couple of weeks? You know, if I refer back to that podcast I spoke about in Struggle Town, when I was, you know, doing everything for everyone, going above and beyond. When I did my Instagram TV a few days before that, and I was in the height of being a martyr, I thought, well, you know what? The last couple of weeks, I haven't really had a lot of fun. You know, I've been super full on with work and with clients and corporates. And Steve had his 2 weeks, and so I was in carer's mode. And yes, you know, I was taking Bailey for walks and all that kind of stuff, but where was my fun? Where was little kitty cat? You know, where was like little cat, my inner child cat? And so when I got that message of lighten up and I reflected, I was like, you know what, that's what was missing for me. A little spark, a little spunk, a little lightheartedness. And so that's why yesterday, if you've seen my post on Instagram, yesterday, you know, it was super easy for me to get into work. I'm like, yep, always got things to do. Yep, could do this, could be doing that, could be doing that. And I just thought, you know what, suck on this. Nah, I'm not doing that. you know, so we went for a family walk and a family bike ride, and then you would have seen that I was doing a workout at the front, and then Mia came to join me, and then we turned it up the music, and then we started dancing out there for half an hour. She was spraying water on herself, and Steve was spraying water on Mia. Steve was dancing, washing the cars. The dogs were out there, and they were wanting their balls thrown. And Mia actually said to me, she said, you know those moments where you don't want them to end, and when they end, you're like, can I get that back? I said, yeah, is this one of these times? She said, yes, this is one of these times. And I thought, you know what? You're spot on. You're totally spot on. Then we sat out the back, and then we chilled together in the sun, and we threw a frisbee later on in the afternoon. And it was just a really nice, light-hearted day where for a moment I wasn't taking on, you know, thinking about my clients and how can I serve that one and that one and that one. Oh, there's an idea. Let me email them. You know, it was just like, no, I didn't take on the weight of the world when it comes to the environment, or when it comes to human sex trafficking, or when it comes to, you know, animals and animal cruelty. For a moment, just for a moment, I was just in this little blissful bubble of light-heartedness. And so what I want to bring to you today, and the message that, you know how I work, whatever goes on in my little world, and I've, I guess, seen through something and worked through something, I want to bring that to you to see maybe where in your life are you acting out disproportionately to your stimulus. So I have to thank Steve for bringing that to my attention. That text message, because it's really inspired. It inspired something to shift in me, which is now inspired for me to share with you. So we'll take this into meditation now. I'm just going to let Bailey out because he's wanting to go outside. You want to go out, darling? Here you go, puppy. Here you go. I'm going to bring this into your worlds today, to see, you know, as I said, are you acting disproportionately? And what is really calling you? As I said, I thought what was really calling for me was space, which yes is true, but the deeper message under that was lighten up, buttercup, have some fun. It's fucking heavy shit, you know, heavy shit in the world. Have some fun. And when we were dancing out the front, people were walking by, and one guy said to Steve, thank you so much for bringing this music and tunes and energy. It's really awesome. People walking by smiling. People on the other side of the street would just stop and look, and, you know, it was pretty easy to just be lighthearted and then to share that. So anyway, let's take this into meditation today to see, you know, maybe you've been focusing on something, but there's like another message underneath. It's like, oh, if I land there, maybe this will open up. Like when I landed in my lightheartedness, space did open up. I wasn't focused on the washing. I wasn't focused on vacuuming the house. I wasn't focused on sweeping the floor or making the fucking bench have no smudges on it. I wasn't focused on doing the work. So it actually did open things up. It actually did create space. But because I was in work mode, carers mode, you know, serious mode, the space, I couldn't see it. And so the act of lightheartedness opened that up. You know what I mean? I hope you can kind of get what I'm getting. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Anyway, let's take this into meditation for you. So wherever you are, you can lie down, you can sit down. If it's safe to, close down your eyes. Get yourselves nice and comfy. And together as a Sunday morning crew, let's take a big breath in and then out. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in and then out. And just breathe now at a pace and rhythm that feels good for you. And let's just take a sweet little minute to be present. Be present in what you can hear. What you can smell, taste. And even sense around you. Sweet little minute. And just notice if in your life you're currently responding or reacting disproportionately to what's going on for you. When you take this observer perspective, you can kind of see, yeah, it is disproportionate. Well, I want you to imagine now that there is a little treasure chest. A little treasure chest inside of your heart. And inside that treasure chest is a nugget of gold. And that gold holds the answer to what can help you and serve you. To come back to your true nature, or more of your true nature. And so imagine yourself walking into your heart. Walking towards that treasure chest. And the closer you get, the brighter it glows. The closer you get, the more you feel the energy of that piece of gold. Now open up that treasure chest. imagine yourself opening that treasure chest and placing your hands on this piece of gold. And as you do so, the answer reveals and runs through you. The answer reveals itself to you as to what can help you. And once you have that answer, once it's revealed itself to you, take that piece of treasure. Thank your heart for holding the answer there. And look to see how you can bring this to life, how you can make this answer actionable, doable. What does this answer look like when it is expressed? And that becomes your soul work. Let's take a big breath in and then out. Big breath in and then out. Big breath in and then out. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I hope that meditation and today's message was good for your soul. I was actually picking up a lot of things in there, which I feel like I was picking up a lot of you and what's going on for you, and I was getting all these answers, and I was like, is this for my life? And then I was like, no, this is just me picking up you. So there's some beautiful things in there for all of you to action and express. We'll give you guys some time now to ask me any questions, make any comments. You can ask about today, you can ask about my little process, you can share about your process, any questions that you've got. We'll spend the next 5 or so minutes answering those. My pleasure, Holly. Your voice and that music, oh, thank you. Thank you. My pleasure, Melissa. My pleasure, Justine. Josie has written on Facebook, an amazing message I needed to hear this morning. Thank you. Off to have a lighthearted day. Yeah. You know, it's interesting. My lightheartedness was so lighthearted. I was watching movies with the fam last night, and I fell asleep with all dishes on the bench, which is very unlike me. And, Steve was like, go to bed, I'll clean things up. And, I know that sounds so small. It sounds so small, but for me, that's a lot. That's a lot to just let things be. Morning, Queen Cat. Oh, thank you. Happy Sunday to you. What a beautiful start to the morning. What started your journey with meditation and feeding the soul? What started my journey was when I was in chronic pain 12 months after my brain operation. This is over 10 years ago now. I was on antipsychotics. I was in a really, really, really bad place. And I went to see a professor of neurology who said, if you really want to heal yourself and if you really want a pain-free life, then you've got to do something completely different. And he was talking to me about visualization and imagination. And I also saw another person after him as well who kind of showed me a technique. And that's what I did. And I didn't know about the soul then. I didn't know about energy then. I didn't know about the universe then. And I didn't really know anything. I was 23. But what I was learning through that process was visualize, focus on what it is that I want. And with the space that I was giving myself, I was getting an answer to help me through my life and to make my life better. And with that, and enacting those answers that I was getting, the guidance that I was getting, my life became better. I became a better human. I was operating better in the world, and that was feeding my soul because I was bringing more of my true self to life. So that's what got me on my journey in feeding the soul, and I will not stop. I will not stop. I mean, it's what I do. If I have an issue or a problem, I'm like, okay, boom, let's go in. What is it that I really want? Or what's the true answer here? What could I really be focusing on here? And I hold space for myself to receive that answer. And whatever that answer is, and it'll have weight to it, it'll have juice to it, then I go out and enact it. Thanks, Kat. Love the treasure chest and gold nugget, Medi. Mwah. My pleasure. Pleasure, treasure. I definitely got some things to action. Thank you so much. Amazing experiencing. Namaste. The color looks gorgeous on you. Thank you. Do you have any recommendations for how to introduce kids to meditation? Do you have any recommendations? You know what? I don't, but the one thing that I do, particularly when I first met Steve, because the girls were younger then, I would just do it in front of them, and they'd be like, what are you doing? And then they would come and join me, or they'd come and sit next to me, maybe not for the whole time, but they would. But I know, so for me, I don't shove it down their throat. I'm not going to shove it down their throat. But the more that I do it in front of them and just make it a normal practice, if they want to join, they can join. If they don't, they don't. But I know a friend of mine who has a very young girl. She's 4, I think, maybe 5 now. She's started her from meditation quite early, and meditation being, she might put on I think there is meditation for kids where she, it like tells them a story, go grab your favorite teddy, or go do this and go do that, and then let's snuggle up into bed. And then her mum would lie next to her and just listen to the story with her, and it'll be about the stars or the moon. And this little girl has a big crush on me, so I did her own meditation, made it very specific to her. And it wasn't so much about, big breath in, big breath out. It was a little bit of that, but it was more around, imagine yourself on a big, beautiful rainbow, and the fluffy clouds are keeping you nice and warm and comfortable. So it was more storytelling in a very soft, gentle way with really beautiful music. I'm not sure who she uses, but another thing that I do for, as in I don't know what app she uses, but another thing that I do for younger children when I go to schools is I say, let's play dead fish, which is something that they know, well, I played dead fish when I was younger. And whenever I go to schools, I'm like, oh God, how am I going to get them to meditate? And if I say the word meditate, it's like, dudes, don't worry. We're just going to play dead fish. You know how to play dead fish? You lie on the ground, you're a dead fish, your eyes are closed, but don't hold your breath, so I make it fun and cheeky, and sort of like a game and not too long. That's another way that I help kids in schools meditate. Jody, I get you. My ODC is fucked like that to the point now I mess shot up. Now I see mess shut up and sit in the uncomfortableness of it to forcefully not have. Yes. Me too. It is a lot to let the mess just be there. Tegan, yes, thank you. Got a truth bomb answer I really didn't want. That's also the hard thing about meditation. When you go in, you get answers and you're like, fuck, damn it. I didn't think it was that one. Similar to me, Teagues. I thought it was like space, gotta find space. When really it was like, have fun, mate, and you'll create space. Lighten up and you'll create space because your focus will change. So good for you. There's a kids section on Insight Timer. Yes, that is true. Jenny, we use Fiona Tate's kids meditation book, The Magic Tree. It's awesome. The kids read them to each other. There you go, Danielle. That's a suggestion. So Insight Timer has a kids section, and then also Fiona Tate's The Magic Tree. There you go. Thank you, crew. Sonia, beautiful. Love was what I found in the nugget. The last 2 weeks have been overwhelmed with all the things. This confirmed that I need to chill out. Things are not as bad as the stories I'm telling myself. Bang, reset. I must have been tapping into you, because love is, I got an answer of love for someone. And I also got an answer of compassion towards someone's mother. If someone is out there is having a response that's out of disproportionate to your mother, and there's charge around your mother, the answer gold nugget that I got for whoever it is out there was compassion. Compassion, and to see your mum as her own little girl and her own inner child, and to see her in a new light. So anyway, I just wanted to share that because that's what I got. Any other questions? Sounds like the gold nugget meditation was a nice meditation. Any other questions? Are we all done? Are we all out? P.S. Jenny Brady, happy birthday for last Saturday. 40th birthday in ISO. Hope it was fun though. When is the next one? The next live meditation, if you're asking for that, then it's Sunday. Every Sunday, 9 a.m. Australia Eastern Standard Time. Every Sunday I'll come up live here. Send us on a cat mantra. Ke? Send us on a cat mantra? What do you mean, Jody? Please explain. Yes. Yeah, every Sunday, 9 a.m. Any more questions or clarification? Jody, what do you mean, cat mantra? Send us on a cat mantra. Look at this hair. Like I need to sort it out. Send us off. Oh, cool. You can go. If that's what you mean. You're all welcome to go. I think we're finished now anyway. So I'll catch you guys and gals next Sunday, 9 a.m. And yeah, I'll bring you more goodness in. Peace be with you.